Hey everyone, my name's Christy. Welcome to my mom's craft room. We are in the midst of a winter storm. I'll flip you around in a second, but I want to welcome you to Flossmas number 23. We're almost to the end. This is a video series throughout the month of December that I'm posting a short video mostly every day just to show you what I'm doing, and I open up a tiny present from the Forbidden Fiber Co. Advent Calendar. I do a project, either an experimental project or just something I wanted to do or something that's been on my to-do list every day, and show you the progress on that and talk about stitching and stuff like that. So this will probably be a short-ish video since I just saw you like, I don't know, 15 hours ago. I'm gonna flip you around. It's wild out there. Look at that. Look at that wind, the snow flying around. It's my first snow of the season, so I'm pretty excited. I'm drinking out of like one of my mom's favorite mugs. It's a duck with spring onions on its head. I don't know, but she uses this mug all the time, so I'm honored that she's letting me use it. The light's pretty good, I think. It feels pretty good. Not sunny out there, but there's a nice it's a nice filtered light. I'm feeling like it looks pretty good. So I'm not turning on my green light, and maybe you'll be able to see the colors of, well, I don't know what you're gonna have to see colors of since it's a gift, it's a present day. But before we get to any of that, I want to welcome my new friends. Thanks for joining me. Welcome to my returning friends. If you want to follow me on Instagram, you can find me at Dr._Christy. I'll put that here. And also, I haven't said this, but happy Hanukkah. It's like halfway through Hanukkah, and as soon as I like hit send, I'm like, I didn't say happy Hanukkah. So happy Hanukkah. I hope you're having a wonderful festival, lots of food and family, and just having a nice time celebrating. So I think we'll start with our advent calendar, and it's an odd day, so it's a present day. There are two things in here. Like, there's like a squishy thing and then two long things. If this were a knitting advent calendar, I would think two tiny knitting needles. Okay, let's see what it is. Oh, fun! That's really sweet. It's tea and honey sticks. Ooh, that's nice. We love tea in my house. These are the ones that my stepmom loves. This one in particular, hot cinnamon spice. I've had it. It's delicious. Paris, which is a bergamot, so it's Earl Grey-y. And Egyptian chamomile. Ooh, that sounds lovely. And then two honey sticks. So I don't know if you all know this, but I used to, when I was in my early 20s, I worked at the Pennsylvania Renaissance Festival, and then I worked at other Renaissance festivals too, but I worked at the Pennsylvania Renaissance Festival. That was my home fair. And there was a honey guy there, because honey is a very Renaissance-y kind of a product. And they had these honey sticks, and they had all different flavors. They were so good. We would get honey sticks and just eat the honey right out of them. So I don't put honey in my tea, but I will just eat these as like a little treat because I love good honey. So what is a cold winter day without a cup of tea? We've included 3 of Leanne's favorites: hot cinnamon spice, Egyptian chamomile, and Paris. And we couldn't forget something to sweeten it with. These honey sticks come from Sister Bees, a small woman-owned business in Michigan. Love it. This honey is pure northern Michigan star thistle honey. Enjoy. I will. This is lovely. And my stepmom, I have some to take with me, Janice. We literally were talking about this tea, that she loves this tea so much. And now that I know, anyway, I can get some of my own. So that's a lovely little gift for today. And if I were home, I'd probably drink it today, but I won't. I'll take it home with me. Put it in the bag, take it home with me. And I'm still planning on showing all of the whole series of gifts and stuff for my end of the year floss tube extravaganza. let's talk hashtag Experimadvent. So my job yesterday, my Experimadvent for yesterday was to make a granny square. I don't know where the tag is anymore, and that's okay. It was to make a granny square. You were all there. You all saw. I don't know how to make a granny square, so we had to watch videos. So we watched 3 different videos, 3 different YouTube videos, and each one had a different way of doing it. So I didn't just make one. I tried first with, I think, a fingering weight, which is fairly thin, and a 2.75 millimeter hook. So I'm just using my mom's scraps because it's a, you know, it's a scrappy kind of a thing. I'm just using my mom's scraps, and it wasn't going well. So then she found me this, which is very pretty and is slightly thicker. She thought it was a DK or worsted, I think. I don't have any idea. I'm just saying words. It's slightly thicker, and that was much easier. So my first one, I watched a video. My first one is this, which I think, you know, for a first granny square ever, turned out pretty good. I didn't love a couple things about it, but I do love the openness of it. But as we're watching this video, my mom is like, that's not how I do it. That's not how I do it. And I'm like, okay, well, let's see. I mean, this is an advent, right? So it's experimenting. So we watched another video, which was the video, my mom thinks it was a video that she learned on. And, oh, and this was done on a 4 millimeter needle. So it was very big. This one is very tight. So this one feels very floppy, which I like. This one is very tight, which I think will be warmer. This was done on a 3 millimeter hook. And the difference in size is also because of the technique. So with this one, there is a chain stitch in between each of the clumps of 3 double crochet, I think. This one, there is no chain stitch. You just go 3 clumps. You go from like clump of 3 to clump of 3, right? And then there are 2 chain stitches at the corner to turn the corner, and then there are no chain stitches until the next corner. So I think that this is probably better for blankets, but it's not for what I want it for, which is for like random like headbands, or at this point I'm like, I'm gonna make myself a granny square cardigan or a scarf or like necklaces. Oh yeah, granny squares are now a thing in my life. So that's that. So I think that this sort of thicker weave is good for a blanket, not so good for what I want it. So then we watched a third video, just experimenting, and I did this one. This one was my favorite. So these two started, you can really see it here. So you start on one side of the corner and you end on the other side of the corner. And so I just feel like you get this weird gappy thing. And that could just be because, you know, I have no idea what I'm doing. But this one started with the whole corner. So you end up kind of in the middle of a hole as opposed to in the middle of the corner. This I really liked. This also had the 1 chain stitch over the holes and 3 chain stitches over the corners. So the holes are much more pronounced, and I really dig that. The other difference is that this one started with a 6 chain stitch for the middle, and these were all 4 chain stitches in the middle, and I like the more chain stitches. So, but the weird thing about this one was that she slip stitched, so she kind of like stitched her way to the corner after every row. Whereas with this one, she turned it around and went the other way, And this one, she just kind of started in the hole that she just made. So I liked this starting where it was starting, and the 6 and the 1 and the 3, right? So I really liked starting with the 6 chain stitches. I like the larger hole, so I like the 1 chain stitch in between the 2 sections of 3. I like the 3 chain stitches on the corner, and I like starting before the corner, right? But I didn't like working my way to the corner for the next round. I liked spinning it around. So I'm like, okay. Oh, the other thing I liked about this video is that it also taught me how to change colors, because if you know me, you know I like color. So then I was like, okay, I'm an expert at crocheting granny squares now, obs. Let's go for the thinner yarn. And the nice thing about the thinner yarn was that I had more options, right? I had more color options. So I decided I was going to try the thinner yarn. Oh, and this one was done on I think a 3mm hook also. So these two are similar in size, but this one was done on a 4mm hook and this one was done on a 3mm hook. Now, this one isn't as floppy as this one, so I might actually go up a hook size because, well, I'm probably going to use thinner yarn because of the things I want to do require probably thinner yarn. Anyway, so I'm like, well, I'm going to try the thinner yarn. I'm going to try doing it this way, which is the third one I did where you start before the corner, but I'm going to turn around like this one to go back around. And so I made this one. Oh, and I'm going to change colors. So I made this tiny little granny square. And this was done on a 3mm hook, I think. It's maybe done on a 2mm hook. How sweet is that? So I'm really pleased with this. And I added colors. I went rogue. I went rogue, as I tend to do. And so I was trying to figure out how to, you know, when I'm starting a new thread, how do I like deal with that thread or that yarn? And so what I ended up doing was, for my first, this right here, I was holding my yarn doubled. So I basically crocheted this end into it. And hopefully now that means that it, like, it's in. I did the same thing when I started over here with my next level, and I don't think you can tell. It may be like a little bulkier, but I don't think you can tell. So anyway, that's my granny square experiments, and I think they were a huge success, and I'm really excited. So you're probably going to see granny squares in the future, and especially if our power goes out today, because we have some light, but not cross-stitching light. Like, we just don't have that kind of light if the power goes out. If the power doesn't go out, I am going to work on my temperature drink shelf, because I need to at least start getting in those glasses. However, because of this sort of snow situation, well, we don't have snow in Mississippi, and I'm doing this for home no matter where I am. We hit 9 degrees Fahrenheit in Mississippi this morning. Oh, I didn't tell you, the heat's back on at my house in Mississippi. It got fixed on Tuesday, but I think it got fixed after our conversation on Tuesday. Oh, I didn't record on Tuesday. Yeah, so you don't know. It's 9 degrees in Mississippi. My husband is not freezing. My dog is not a popsicle. The heat is back on. It got back on Tuesday, and he has 3 space heaters, and he's hunkering down. He doesn't have to go anywhere. There's no snow yet, but apparently there's lots of ice and wind, and we're now in the double digits there, so that's good. But it won't go above freezing until Sunday or Monday. However, this is great for my temperature chart. Love it. I get to use all my colors. Very exciting. Silver linings and all that, you know? So that is Granny Squares Experiment Advent. Plans for today. Let's talk about my Experiment Advent for today. My Experiment Advent for today is playing around with these fabric pastel dyes, which I think will be super fun. I don't need a lot of light for, and some embroidery. I'm also kind of excited because there is this, I like Cyanotype, which is sort of an early photographic developing system. It's sort of all in mostly blues, but you can change the color. And so I follow a Cyanotype, I think I just follow one kind of general Cyanotype account on Instagram. Well, they are all excited. They've decided they're running sort of a thing in the new year where you can submit a picture of Cyanotype on tea bags. And I'm like, well, shoot, I just happened to be saving tea bags for embroidery purposes. And so I posted that. And the person who runs that account was like, oh my God, I would love to see Cyanotype and embroidery on a tea bag. That would be amazing. And I'm like, well, shoot, I would love to do Cyanotype and embroidering on a tea bag. And so this wouldn't be a tea bag on fabric. This would just be on the tea bag. So I think when I go home, and the images aren't due until I think like the 31st. So I'll be home and I'll be able to like play around with this. So that'll be super fun. Yeah. So I am gonna maybe do a little Cyanotype on tea bag experimentation, which, you know, I love me some experimentation, obs. So that's an exciting thing that I might do next week. If I remember and have time. I think I should have time, so that'll be fun. I was not expecting this to be this long, so I'm sorry about that. Apparently, I have a lot of things to talk about in the past 18 hours. I'm very excited about my crocheting. All right, I think that's it for my stitching and crafting and stuff. So let's do our Flossmas giveaway for the day. And it is an odd day, so it is an ornament. And it is another little green and jute, sort of green and natural ornament. So if you want to win this ornament, please use the word thread in the comments down below. You must be 18. Please like the video. Please be a subscriber. I'll ship anywhere in the world, but if it gets lost, it's lost. It has no monetary value. And I don't remember what else I say. I think I say something else, but I don't remember what it is. This is my second cup of coffee. I have no excuse. But if you want to win this, say thread in the comments down below. And I'll be picking my winners after in my flosstube extravaganza at the end of the year. And I have a whole bunch of them. So if you are just joining me and want to win things, you can, go back in time to my earlier videos and check them out and see if any of those catch your fancy. So I think that's going to be it from me. I want to get this rendered and uploaded before the power goes out. I'll flip you around again, so you can see our winter wonderland. It's not snowing anymore, but it's snowy, and that's exciting. So get this taken care of, uploaded, and I will see you tomorrow. So please take good care of yourselves and have a good one. Stay safe and warm. Bye.